Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Roger, and this is your daily tarot map for Tuesday, October 20th, 2015, using tarot to create the life you want. Well, I really appreciate you joining me today, and I appreciate everybody who's liked these videos, subscribed to this channel, share the videos on your social networks. I really appreciate all of your support. So, this week we continue our work with the Ghost Tarot created by David Corsi. And the three cards drawn randomly from the deck today were the Five of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. So I'm really liking this deck so far this week. And the first card in today's draw is the Five of Wands. And what an interesting depiction this is. Now here we see here the familiar meanings of struggle and strife for this card, but what I find interesting is that the spirits or beings depicted in this card all look like different versions of the same person. Now, this suggests perhaps a struggle with ourselves, especially if we find ourselves making the same mistake over and over again, or fighting the same issue or situation again and again. For some of us, this might be a promise to ourselves that this time we're going to change. We're going to stop procrastinating and start creating. We're going to write that book that we've always wanted to. And then we don't. And the cycle begins again. This kind of reminds me of the film Groundhog Day, in which Bill Murray was forced to relive the same day over and over until he got it right. So perhaps that's what this card is telling us, that we're going to be fighting the same internal or external battles over and over again until we get it right, or until we can finally move past it or make permanent changes. So our next card, the Eight of Coins. This is a powerful image. It almost takes your breath away at first glance. Here we see a bride still wearing her wedding dress, carving on the tombstone of her beloved, while the ghost of a preacher stands overhead. So she appears to be chiseling away at her broken dreams, perhaps refusing to let go, or is she perhaps reliving that heartache over and over again, just like we saw in the first card? There does come a point where we have to stop chiseling and move on. You might have a business or a project or even a relationship, for that matter, that simply hasn't worked out. And yet you keep trying. You keep chiseling away at it in the hopes that it will take off eventually. Well, today's draw might be a caution that you're spending too much time on something that will never pay off, and that it might be finally time to move on to something different. Now, this isn't saying that you should give up right away if things don't go your way. I guess the trick here is to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, as the song goes. If after sustained effort your work doesn't come to fruition, and giving it a decent amount of time, then admitting defeat and moving on might be the most prudent thing to do. Not everything that we try is going to work out, but that's the fun part. Experimenting, learning, and growing. So, in our last card, we have the Two of Cups. This is typically a card of romance, of partnerships, of coming together. But to me, this is also a card of commitment. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean commitment to a person, but even commitment to a project or a way of life. If you've been working on something half-heartedly, not giving it your full attention, then the Two of Cups advises you that the best course of action is to commit one way or another. We need to either give our full attention to whatever it is we're working on, or admit defeat and commit to something else, something more viable. I know I've been caught up in this beating the dead horse mentality more than once, and it's never easy to move on from something for which we had high hopes. But sometimes things simply don't work out, and when they don't, it's best to move on with something with more potential. So, the message today for these three cards is: success doesn't come from never making mistakes, but rather in never making the same one a second time. We should feel regretful for our mistakes and learn from them, but never carry them forward into the future with us. So today's advice card comes from the Symbolon deck, and the card drawn randomly from the deck was incompatibility. So this card resonates nicely, I think, with the theme of today's reading, the theme of identifying that which is no longer working for us and to let it go if need be. Now, this card, I think, is a warning light that something in your life is incompatible with the other aspects of your life. Now, this could be pointing to an incompatible relationship or even a business that's no longer compatible with your belief system or values. So your goal today is to identify these incompatibilities and see what you can do to rectify them. Sometimes all that's needed is a little adjustment in the situation or to your thinking. And that's it for today. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click the like button below. And visit my website at tarot-dude.com to learn more about me and my work. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Brightest blessings.